Moving on. Let's talk about Shay. Let's talk about Club Shay.
Let's get into the recent Club Shay interview, where our Unc decided to sit down with none other than the polarizing figure that is Monique.
Oh, that's a good word. Yes.
Let me tell you. Let me break it down like this. Okay, I'm gonna break it down like this.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of minced mushrooms, minced meat pie. You mince your garlic, right? You've heard all these things. Mm-hmm. What you've never heard of is Monique mincing her words. Okay,
don't happen. It doesn't happen. Don't exist.
Oh my gosh. On the heels of this Katt Williams thing, right? We know that Shannon Sharp has used the Club Shay platform to interview numerous comedians, but ever since that Katt Williams interview, it was only right that Monique was up next. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When you first heard about the announcement, what were your thoughts? Like, what was going through your head? Because
when I first heard about it, I was like, all right, so some more people gonna be in their feelings because, as you said, Monique never minces her words.
No.
She stands 10 toes down in everything she got to say. But I knew it would be interesting. I definitely knew that it would be something worth listening to. I was surprised to see that it was also almost 3 hours. That actually, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But I knew Monique was going to give what she gives, and she's going to be polarizing. She's going to get the people talking. She's going to make people mad, and she don't care.
Yeah. And honestly, I've kept up for years now with, the whole Monique saga, from her getting blackballed to her taking a stand against Netflix to her doing the special, just kind of coming out on the other side of things. And the one thing is this: throughout, you got to give credit for consistency. You got to give credit for the fact that the story never changes. You know how sometimes you can hear somebody will do something and they'll do several interviews, and then maybe a few years later they'll come out and they'll talk about the same thing, and it's a little different than before, right?
Yeah.
You can't really poke holes in Monique's story. And I strongly believe that many years from now, amen, that when Monique is no longer with us, that people are going to appreciate the stands that she takes. That's my opinion, but it should not have to be that. But we've seen it before, right? We've seen that happen before. Oh, so and so. They believed in this and they did that. We can, and this is Monique's whole thing. We can do the right thing right now, and you can't be mad at that. A couple of things that stood out to me in the interview.
Yeah.
First things first.
Yeah.
When Monique, and this is later in the interview, but when Monique essentially calls out Shannon about not liking Black women.
But someone said Shannon Sharp don't mess with Black women.
Mm-hmm. Before you go any further, can I say this?
Please.
My grandmother told me something when I was a little boy. She said, boy, never chase a lie.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Why?
And you never said that, right?
I've never said.
Okay, so that's why I said.
I got Black kids.
That's what I said. I said, that baby's black.
Yes.
They not confusing.
Yes.
We ain't trying to see if she Latin or Dominican. They black. They mama got black. Everybody that Shannon messed with was black.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Black. Okay.
I loved it. But she did it so smooth though.
Yes.
Like I could tell that was something on her heart that she really wanted to know.
Yeah.
But she said it in so smooth. I said, yes, that is a professional. Professional. Yes.
But she ain't lying.
When she said they ain't like you when you was just dark skinned Shannon.
That's some real stuff though.
You know what? You right. I loved it.
I'm sure you growing up, you had your challenges.
Yes.
You were a dark-skinned man.
Yeah.
There was a time you stuttered.
Yeah,
I'm
you know, I wasn't always popping more now that you brought it up.
Let's talk about it,
Yeah.
Shay. Because you remember the time when she told you, no, I don't want to go out on a date with old Black Shannon.
Yeah, you know.
Let me talk to her right now. Let me talk to your ass that wouldn't go out with Black Shannon. Now, you wish you would have went out with Black Shannon that stuttered. Okay, you wish you would have went out with black stuttering Shannon Sharp's ass. Now look at him. He got the Shay show. I bet her ass a tough.
That's some real stuff, though. What were one of the key moments that kind of stood out to you, other than that, because that was hilarious? But
Yeah, that was
other than
hilarious.
that,
I love that.
What was something else that came at you?
I also loved, I loved when they both invited Tyler Perry and Oprah to come on the show. I just thought that was so amazing. Cause like Monique did it in a low-key shady way, but also she meant that.
Yeah.
Again, she said it with her chest, but she was like low-key shady about it because she was talking about Oprah and her vodka cranberries. And I was like, I see what you're doing, Auntie. I see what you're doing, Auntie. Subtle shade.
Tyler, Oprah, I would greatly appreciate it if you two guys would come on Club Shay. We sit down, we have a conversation. This is not an interview. This is not hard hitting. I want you to tell your truth. Miss Oprah, Tyler, tell your truth, and we can get to the bottom of this.
So Brother Shay have said, y'all come on the sofa. Oprah, this liquor is good. Okay, and I understand you like cranberry and vodka. Okay, Roosevelt Cartwright told me you drink that you like. And you know, he told me some other things, but the drink that you like, come on, Uncle Shay. Let's have a conversation.
Another part I liked was when because people Monique is a serious person when it comes to the stuff she's passionate about, and I think a lot of that in the later years has sort of clouded the comedic aspect. But we get reminded that Monique is just naturally funny. Period.
Funny, yeah.
So her and Shannon got to talking about you know, her being a bigger woman and then finding this fame, right, with the Parkers and things like that. And she was like, you know, a lot of guys wanted to be Professor Ogilvy. And she said, you know, her husband has a interesting way of putting things into perspective for her.
Yeah, I loved it. And they said, then she looked at the camera and she said, so to all you whores out there. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. Like you said, there were so many moments in the interview, and usually in what Monique does, that do become very serious.
Yeah.
Some of the topics are very heavy, but like you said, it's because she's passionate about it.
Yeah.
But like you said, she has those moments where she reminds you, oh, I'm still funny as hell. I'm a comedian and you're going to laugh. You're going to have a good time. I'm going to be a good storyteller, but also let's not forget, we need to have serious moments. I love that she's able to do that. It reminded me of her Netflix special, which we did review on our show before, where she did that.
Yeah.
Like the topic and the subject matter was very serious, I felt like, but she did a good job of still bringing the comedy, bringing it around to that.
I am an avid believer, to your point, that we as people hold on to information and we learn better, or we have, you know, better memories when we are laughing. And what you find is that some of the best comedians of our time are so because they will give you something that you know you think about, that you feel a kind of way about, right? They can talk about racism and make it funny. They can talk about assault and make it funny. They can talk about all these different things and make it funny with, you know, which makes the message stay with you much longer than if someone is just reading from a pamphlet, you know, giving you information that is good information, but it doesn't stick with you like it does when something is funny. And Monique has mastered that balance of like, insert joke here, give you the information, it's heavy, relief. She gives you relief with the, you know, some jokes at the end of whatever the serious thing is, or in the midst of it. And that's brilliant to me, right? It's a hard thing to pull off, but it's brilliant. Everything Monique said would happen post interview has happened, right? People saying that, you know, because she is a woman, she's a Black woman, she's a fat Black woman, right? that her bringing this to the table, bringing this to Shay, bringing it to Shay's chair of truth. I saw somewhere where somebody said, going on Club Shay, when you sit in that chair is like Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. As soon as you touch it, you can start telling everything, right?
Listen.
But people are now, you know, doing the very thing that she's said they would, calling her bitter, saying she's crazy or being dismissive, you know, stuff like that. And it's so funny to me how those labels get thrown around anytime someone is talking about, you know, your favorite person or someone that you think is unstained or clean. And when someone brings something to you and they say, actually, they had streaks in their drawers the other day, you don't want to believe that it's possible.
Wow.
Right? Are you surprised by the fact that people are, you know, saying, hey, this is the response that Katt Williams got is drastically different than the response that Monique is getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? As a woman, as a Black woman, why do you think why? I mean, I know better.
Exactly
I know better.
It's exactly that. It is the angry Black woman trope and narrative that continues to follow us, no matter how accomplished, no matter how smart, no matter how talented, no matter how forward thinking. Like, we're always going to be labeled as such. It can't ever just be, dang, she right. It's always, oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of that. And it's not just for Monique. That's also true for, I mean, look at Taraji. Look at how people responded to Taraji when she talked about her experience in that movie with pay in Hollywood. And people still were like, oh, well, she should just be happy because she did X, Y, and Z. And oh, she paid for her son to go to college or wherever. So she should be happy. And it's like, really though? Why can't it just be her experience? And why can't it just be what it is? And it's tired, but we know it's coming. But I'm with you. I think it has been a drastically different response to Monique than it was for Katt
and
Williams.
it's sad because she called it out, and then people still proved her point, even with the information in front of them. Like, y'all could have changed the narrative and switched it up, knowing that she said, oh, this is what y'all gonna do, and y'all did it. Right?
Did it.
Another point of interest in this interview, and honestly that surrounds Monique all the time, is Monique's relationship with her husband.
Daddy. Which I hate that, by the way, but that ain't my husband. So
right. I'm a firm believer that two people, especially two married people, often have an understanding between each other that is not meant for anybody else. Right?
Say it.
And when I would hear people say, why is her husband there? Why is he there? It's a sad day when we're questioning why a Black man would stand with his Black woman. So when you hear Black women saying we're the most undervalued, disrespected, underserved, mistreated, violated, exploited, we get all of that. Then you see a Black man standing with his Black woman saying, not on my watch. And you hear some Black men saying, why her husband gotta be there? We're in a sad state of affairs.
But there were valid points made. We know that people, for some reason, often go in on the fact that Monique has her husband as her representative, or that when Monique does a interview that he's present, or when Monique is working on a deal for something that he's present, that he's, you know, constantly around. They feel like that's a problem. And I truly feel like we see big Black women, meaning in size. We see big Black women as, even when they're younger, we see them as older. We often see them as matriarchs, right? Being strong or being leaders of a community, being overly nurturing, that we're not used to them being protected or submissive or secure enough to say, you know, I'm in charge of me, right? I'm in charge of my thing, but I'm gonna let someone else lead me as well in this partnership that we have. People aren't, the truth of the matter is, in this way, in the way that it's in your face, you have no choice but to accept it. People are not used to seeing that. Oprah has never married Stedman. And here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Think about this. When I say the name Stedman, you get an image in your head. You know what he looks like. You've seen him. You know, you get that. You can't hear his voice when I say his name. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
When I say Oprah, boom, you hear the voice. You know the image. It resonates. You don't know what Stedman sounds like vocally.
We don't.
Right?
We don't.
I just think about stuff like that. And I'm not one of those Oprah haters. Okay. There's a lot of people who give, you know, Oprah a hard time. Let me put it this way. Once you're a billionaire and you are rich and wealthy for so long, it's inevitable that you're going to get out of touch with some things. And I think that's what's happened with her. But I'm never going to take away her credits and her success and how hard she fought to get to where she is. But again, when it comes down to even all of that, we as people deserve respect, bottom line. And I think that is what Monique's stance is that regardless of everything, I deserve, you know, that. So just in reference to the husband part, and then the last thing we'll talk about is this Queens of Comedy bit, but in reference to the husband part.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because I personally, and I don't want to influence what you're about to say, so please don't let me. But I personally have a respect and admiration for their relationship because despite all that has happened, they're together. They ain't going nowhere. I feel like if you can't be with me in a 1-bedroom apartment with a blanket on the floor, maybe we got a TV, but that's on the floor too, right?
Listen.
When there's nothing there, and you're still there, give me that 20 times over before you give me someone who is just going to, you know, be around in the shadows. I don't know. But I'm sorry. What's your take on the Monique husband thing?
Yeah, no, I think it's what I was saying before. That's not my relationship. That's their relationship.
Yeah.
And if Monique is in a place where she finally feels protected, respected, loved, nurtured, she wasn't getting that. Yeah, like she wasn't getting that in her family life the way that she grew up. So she grew up not feeling that. And if she's finally met a person who she's been with for 19 years, by the way, like that's a long time.
Yeah.
And she's feeling that, then who am I to judge that? Like, if that's what it took for you to feel that from someone, then great. You seem happy. Like,
yeah.
What goes on behind closed doors is really none of our business. But I will say I appreciate they seem to always have a united front in front of us. We never gonna see them on Instagram, calling each other out, fussing and fighting, atting each other on Twitter. Like, we're never going to see that. Like, they're a united front, and I can respect that. And I also can respect that, like, not for nothing, she is the star. Let's not forget, Monique is the star.
Yeah.
And I feel though he allows her to be the star. Maybe her strong suit, and she even spoke about this in the interview, her strong suit is not really the business side of the industry. She talked about that. She didn't know a lot of things coming up. She didn't have the industry boot camp. So she's got somebody who's willing to come in and help her do that. Because when you're an artist, a lot of times you're the artist. But it's hard to also be your own business manager, your own tour manager, road manager, agent, all these things. So you need someone to help you do that. So who am I to tell Monique that whatever she got going on is wrong? And half of y'all also don't need to be telling Monique that what she got going on is wrong, because what you got going on, but baby, that's not what we're gonna talk about today. So yeah, that's how I felt about it. I just, if it's for Monique, it's for Monique.
Yeah,
I just don't
yeah,
like
and I think it's we should just respect that they ain't doing nothing wrong. Who cares?
Who cares? Queens of Comedy, we gotta get this.
Yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is this Queens of Comedy scenario. So Monique is good for receipts. She will post a video backing up what she's talked about.
Yes.
She will post a document, a recording. She is the perfect example of my grandmother used to tell me is don't speak on anything that you are not qualified to speak on, right?
And
it's like once you got all the facts in order, then present it, right? And what you'll find though is that, especially in this country, people, you could present them with evidence, facts, and they will twist it and come up with their own thing anyway.
Yeah, look at Megan Thee Stallion, but don't get me started.
I was gonna say, look at our politics, but
that too. Baby,
people just ignore facts. But anyways, so she constantly gives us examples of, being undervalued as a woman, being undervalued as a Black woman, especially in the comedy world, the entertainment spectrum, where it's male dominated, or for a long time it was heavily male dominated. So to have to take the stance that she did during the Queens of Comedy tour. So the Queens of Comedy tour, we know, featured Miss Laura, Monique, some more, and who am I missing?
Did you say Adele?
Adele Givens. Woo!
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I've seen her and I've seen her lips in my head.
Yeah.
But what we saw in that is Monique revealed to us in detail the treatment that they got, the difference in the treatment that they got versus the Kings of Comedy, who were also doing their tour at the time. When I think back about seeing those things, this is still VHS time. This is like 99, 2000, right?
It was VHS. I can see the actual cover of the VHS in my head.
I remember having to sneak and watch those stand-ups, both Kings and Queens, and what it meant at the time, the laughs that we got, the memories from that. Even like I could still see some of the outfits that they wore, some of the punchlines, and this is from both the men and the women. Like I remember Miss Laura snatching her wig off. I remember some more in the hula hoop, bit, right? All this stuff, right? And Monique being carried out by the guys, right? You just did not see stuff like that. And to know that in the midst of that, because they were bringing the funny, they were bringing the comedy, in the midst of that, to learn that they were also experiencing all this mistreatment, checks bouncing, promoters taking advantage, getting lowballed,
sharing one limo. That's crazy.
Limo versus the guys who all got separate transportation.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, not surprised by any of it, but it sucks because now when I go back and look at that, I'm going to think of this. What was how did you feel about that? When just her revealing that information, because the Queens of Comedy and the Kings of Comedy were a moment in time,
Yeah.
Like, but I want to know how you felt hearing that information.
No, it's always disappointing to hear that kind of stuff. It's not surprising at this point, not at all. It's like, of course they were treated that way. Of course they were. But it's so disappointing. And it's also, it makes me side-eye the men of the Kings of Comedy. Shout out to Katt Williams, because it's like, well, where were y'all? Like, y'all wasn't looking out for these women as well. And not that it's their job, but it's like, y'all are coworkers. Y'all are calling each other family, looking at each other. Y'all are on the road. You also see the work that these women are putting in. Like, where was you? Where was your antennas?
Yeah.
I don't like it. I ain't like it. But was I shocked? No.
It's so
Not at all.
unfortunate. But of course, it'd be people like, Bernie Mac who would have people's back. It's always the ones who are not with us anymore, right?
Why is that? Because God be like, I'm gonna take you home. The rest of y'all.
Listen, I tell you all the time, if you want to live a long time, be nasty to people.
Yeah.
Be vile.
When you said that, so many faces just went across my brain. I was like, that one,
Like, gosh, you are still here? Oh my goodness.
Still here. All right, T, we gotta wrap this one up.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Look, so I guess the question stands as at this. The Katt Williams thing happened. The Monique thing has happened.
Who next?
Who next? Who do we want to see go in?
Oprah is coming.
The chair of
but
truth.
Before Oprah, I want to see Tyler Perry. If I see Tyler Perry on Shay, I will scream.
Do you?
I'm having a watch party.
Do you think that those people can come down from their ivory tower and do it?
Never would, because one, they don't feel they have to. Two,
it would be admitting.
That's it. And they not ready for the smoke. Not even that Shay gonna give them smoke. Because Shay doesn't.
He doesn't.
It's everybody else. It's the rest of us.
Shay sit there, giggle, grin, and read his cards and
cards, because baby, those cards.
That's why people like going on there, because Shay, listen, Uncle Shannon ain't gonna never lie to you. He ain't gonna tell you that he's a journalist. He ain't got, that's not his background. But he gonna sit there and make them people feel comfortable. I don't know what's in that cognac. Is it cognac? Is it?
We gotta get some.
We gotta get some.
Let's get some.
Once it's back in stock, we're gonna have to set our income taxes.
Yes.
Because whatever's in that elixir. Yes. Baby, I don't know who's
baby, they're
next.
not gonna be ready for our reviews once we drink that Shay juice. They're not gonna be ready.
I don't know who's up next, but it's gonna be hard to top those two. It's gonna be hard.
Woo. Come on, Tyler. We ready. We're waiting.
Tyler, your lunch is ready.
Tyler, your lunch is Bye.
Okay.